Hi there. So this is Lou Martin, and this is my Awakened Spirits Network, and my lovely friend Laura Rinnankoski. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. We passed the test. Thank you, God. Who has a great name, which is Finnish, is it?
Yes. Yes. I
Yes,
was. Yes. I was born in Finland and
right?
grew up in Venezuela. Then I studied in Boston, then Miami, and now Dublin. So when people ask me where I'm from, it's like everywhere,
You've
many
covered, you've
places.
covered the globe. Yes, you've seen it all, I suppose. Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And Laura and I wanted to get on. She has an exciting new book, particularly about women's empowerment in terms of relationships and recovering power from relationships, called Burned.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to give us your subtitle again? That's so
Yes.
important.
Yes. Yes. It's so. So the book is called Burned. Brave and inspiring stories from women who have overcome their fears to speak their truth and share their wisdom. Yeah,
Yay.
so it's a long, it's a long title, but it's a long, powerful title. It's funny because I hadn't planned on being in this book, but I felt called to be in this book, and it's a very powerful book. It's 18 of us in this book, and we
Wow.
all share stories of getting our voice back and our power back, and these stories have really struck a nerve around the world. We became bestsellers in 7 countries, in the US, in the UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, and the Netherlands, and
Wonderful.
in 57 categories as well. I didn't even know that there were 57 different
What?
categories in Amazon. So
Good for
yeah,
you.
yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing, and like the feedback and the testimonials, have been really amazing because we all share these stories to help and inspire people around the world. So it's amazing to see when it's received in such a good way. And we're also doing an audio book of this book as well, so that's really exciting as well.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. We're going to dive into that, my friend. And you also are offering workshops.
Yes.
Would you say a little bit about that as well?
Yes. So I have a course called Breakthrough to Love, and it's a 6 week course, and it's all about improving the relationship that you have with yourself, which will improve all the relationships in your life, right? Because everything begins and ends with you, like always. You can only control yourself. You can't control anybody else. So yeah, everything begins and ends with you. And we cover so many themes in this course. It's all about self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, all the selves that you can only give to yourself. Nobody else can give that to you. And we also
Beautiful.
cover forgiveness. What kind of stories are you telling yourself? And you can change a story. You can't change what happened in the past, but you can change the story that you're telling yourself about what happened in the past. We do
Mm,
vision boards. It's really, really special because when a group of people come together, many of the same themes come out. So it's very it's a great experience. I've given this course several times, in person, and now
right.
I'm going to do it online starting the 26th of February. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. So
yeah.
we'll put a link for that
Yeah.
with this when we put it together. That's great. And I'm
Yeah.
just curious, is this mostly women, or do you get men in your groups as
I
well?
get both. I get
Okay.
both. Yeah.
Right.
Men and women. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, because it's great. Actually, one theme that comes up in my course and also in the book is now the divine and the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies have been a bit out of balance, right? So now, exactly. So now it's a time to bring balance to the masculine and the feminine energies. So it's not about like one of the energies, being higher or better than the other. It's about finding balance with those energies. And I think that that's a very big theme in the world in general right now, you know, in the outer
Yeah.
world and in our inner
Yeah.
world as well.
Yes. Yes. Hun, I quite agree with you. I literally just had a channeling session, and in the channeling, my guides literally said that very sentence to the woman. They said that the most intense need for healing on the planet is between men and women around their sense of identity around
Yes.
these energies, you know, and the projections that we unconsciously keep each other prisoners through, you know.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm here to, you know, to play a part in that. And actually both books that I've been in, you know, this theme comes up in both of the books. So
Yeah,
yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, the floor is yours, my friend. Where do you want to start? I'm happy to hear anything you want to share here. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, now that we're talking, you know, now that we're talking about, you know, bringing balance, you know, to the, you know, divine feminine energies and the divine masculine energies, I think it's really important to, you know, to have those conversations and to understand each other and to not dismiss, you know, what somebody is saying, right? Because many times people can have very strong opinions one way or the other, right? Whether, you know, you can be a very, you know, strong, you know, masculine man or a very, you know, feminine woman, and you know those two can clash, right? I think it's really important to start listening to each other and to respect each other as well. I think that's really really important.
yeah,
It's not like there's been so many movements on both sides. There's been so many movements on both sides that many times it feels like there's a war happening now, right? And I think that we need to change the way that we're looking at this and the way that we're thinking about this, because
yeah,
it's not a war. I mean, you know,
right.
like we have to change the mindset of how we're thinking about this and finding balance and harmony in these energies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. And Laura, I love you know, the success that you've manifested with your work over the last year or so, as I've observed you. You know, do you want to sing your praises a little bit? The awards, the magazine covers, and all this.
Yeah, thank you, Lou. Yeah, it's been amazing, and it actually started with the first book, but then, you know, there's 15 years of work, you know, that went to it. Like I say,
Right,
I say that I'm
right.
an overnight success story. You know, it took 15 years. It was a long night. You know,
Sure.
15 years of being a coach, and there were many, you know, twists and turns. You know, on that journey, just like in everyone's life, you know, there's twists and turns. but
Sure.
um but yeah, things really started to turn around and to go to another level after the first book that I was in, which is called you know, quiet and badass. You know, I'm not quiet, but I am badass. And that was also 18. It's 18 women in that book as well. And
Great.
in that book, you know, it's also we share stories of, you know, difficult moments, you know, that we went through and how we got to the other side of those
Yeah,
difficult moments. And after that book, it was just I feel like a portal opened after that book, because
yeah.
after being in that book, I've gotten 6 awards and 4 magazine covers, and just like all these amazing opportunities are coming in right now, which I'm very thankful for. But I did, you know, it's 15 years of work, you know,
Sure,
so
sure.
it
I'm
needs to-
celebrating you. I'm so proud of you. That's wonderful. And can I say, Laura, you know, what great vision that is to include the stories of to give women a voice, you know,
yeah,
in that way, and to, you know, to take that deep dive with 18 different women and really,
yeah,
you know, hold that space for them to really share their deepest hopes and fears and create
yeah.
some healing together in terms of you know, empowering women. That's wonderful.
Yes, yes. And one comment that I've gotten from men is, "Oh, well, but these books, you know, these books are just for women." I'm like, "No, they're for everybody." I mean, the stories are about women, but when men read these stories, they will understand women better, right?
Well, I think you're inspiring me to read your books right now. Honestly, I'm very, very interested. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, they
brilliant.
are great, and I'm not just saying it because I'm in them. I mean, it's all of us. It's all of us together, and I mean, I love teamwork.
Sure.
So all of us
Sure.
together in these books is very special.
Yes. Well, can you? All right. This is really exciting now. You and I just sort of decided we do this, and now I'm really grateful we're doing it. Can you
Yeah.
give a bit of the themes of what comes up in like in Burned, your new book here? What
Yes.
themes you see?
Yes, well, I'll start, I'll start with my own chapter, right? Since,
Sure.
that's the most
Sure.
personal one. So one of the things that I write about in Burned, um, is we all have moments, we all have difficult moments in life, right? We all have moments where we get burned. But the really important thing is not to stay in that burned place, to learn whatever you need to learn from the experience and move on, stronger than ever, and with whatever lessons you needed to learn. One thing that I mentioned in Burned is I mentioned the differences between my two home countries, which are Finland and Venezuela, and the way that women women are viewed and portrayed in both of these countries are very,
Quite
very,
different, isn't it?
and how I had to balance, I had to consolidate both of these cultures together, right? So I
Yes.
talk
Yeah.
about that. I also talk about, getting getting my power back and getting my voice back. I talk about somebody that came into my life that tried to keep me quiet, and how that was a test for me to see, like,
Sure.
how serious am I about my mission, right? Because I've always known that I'm here to help people. Even when I was little, I would ask my
Beautiful.
mom, why you? Why am I me? What's the purpose of my life? I was a very conscious, philosophical child. I always
Right.
knew that I had a higher purpose, and that there was a bigger meaning why I was here. I've
Sure.
always known
Sure.
that. Yeah.
Do you find that in a lot of the women you're talking to for your books, that they have that
Yes,
sense of, a greater purpose for their life?
definitely. Definitely. And then one thing that comes up a lot in this book is coming to terms with being comfortable with your intuition, right? Like your intuition, and I mean, intuition and messages that you get, and all of this. I mean, there's many different words that you can use for this, right? You can say, like, oh yeah,
Sure.
you have magical powers, or whatever, right? But it's being comfortable, and coming to terms with having, access to, other like other realities, right?
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
yeah, like that
Well,
that's
when
another
I
that's another theme that comes up in this book, as
yes,
well.
I mean, Laura, when I was growing up, I'm a little older than you are, and
Yeah.
intuition used to be preceded by the word woman's, or
Yes,
mother's, and it was
exactly.
like that was part of the opening up, that, of course, women are more intuitive than men, but absolutely, it's a gift, a skill that everyone can tap into. Um,
Definitely.
you know,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
And then another thing that comes up in this book, and also, connected to the title, Burned, like many times, I mean, throughout history, women and men have been persecuted and literally burned at the stake for
yeah,
having intuition, and for having what you would consider our magical powers or whatever, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's coming to terms with that as well, and being comfortable, yeah, with all of this,
Sure,
right? So
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, beautiful. And again, helping women find their voices,
Yes.
to tell their stories. And, as you say, men need to understand, what a woman's journey is like in terms of relationship, and,
Yeah.
where she feels safe, or where she feels,
Mhm.
unsafe, or unheard, or invisible, or
Yes,
projected upon, all of those things. And yeah, I just think these books, your stock has gone way up in my estimation, I have to confess, because I really didn't understand what your books were about, and I'm really really
Yeah.
grateful that these resources are out there for people.
Yes, and it's such an honor for me to be a part of this, right? To be giving women a bigger excuse me as I cough, the throat chakra getting activated.
Little clearing,
It's
little
great
clearing,
to be a
yes.
part of giving women, a bigger voice.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say nobody knows how deeply men need to heal their stuff than the women,
Yeah.
in our lives. And
Yes.
in my work with channeling and healing and all of that, most of my sessions have been with women because women are much more, in touch with their feelings in general, and as we're saying, receptive, intuitive, empathic, and that you and I know from our conversations that is the future of the
Yes.
planet, for everyone, men and women, to be much more in our hearts and much more able to feel safe to be vulnerable and really acknowledge how important it is to be vulnerable. So you're really, I see why you've gotten so much success and attention. You're really leading the charge, my friend. I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. What are the trailblazers, right? Like,
Absolutely out there on the cutting edge, pushing the envelope. Good for you.
yeah.
And then in terms of, so the books, this one is burned. The first one, give me the title again.
Yes. Quiet and badass.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty sexy, I have to say. That's
Yeah. I actually have
you
the
know,
book. I actually have the book here. Oh, look. Yeah, I have it
okay,
here. Look. Here
okay,
it is.
great,
Here's
great.
the
Oh,
cover.
beautiful cover. Yeah.
Yeah, the cover is great, isn't it?
Yes, very cute. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Okay.
like the full title is Quiet and Badass Visionary Women Embracing Their Uniqueness to Create Epic Impact.
Wow. Kaboom. Yes.
Yeah. Mic drop. Like
Exactly. The mother is in the house, the goddess
exactly.
is in the house. She's not sitting around, knitting sweaters. She's
Yeah, no.
charging the gates. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And
Yeah.
what are some of the responses that people have had to both of these books?
Well, the response has been amazing. I mean, both books became bestsellers right away, on Amazon. Yeah, yeah, they both, yeah. Yeah, it's been the response has been amazing. I mean, Quiet and Badass, like the response was amazing, but Burned has literally like burned. Yeah, Burned has yeah. Burned
Well,
has like burned down the charts.
yeah,
So
no, it's a brilliant word, Laura. Because as you said, I want to come back to this what you were saying earlier. I mean, the challenge for all of us, men and women, is to take, and you said it beautifully, is to take the challenge, the difficult situations, and squeeze the growth out of it,
exactly.
and not run from it, and not turn away from it until we get like, what is the gift of this? What is the opportunity here?
Exactly. But don't stay stuck in the moment, like the U2 song. Don't stay
Right,
stuck in
right,
the moment,
right.
learn whatever you need to learn, and then
Yeah,
move on, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Wow. Well, there's just so many questions buzzing in my head from all of this. Can you bring your workshop a little bit into the conversation as well, in terms of helping people work with self-esteem and self-worth and these kinds of issues? Is there any thoughts about that?
Yes, definitely. So everything begins and ends with you, right? And ultimately how you treat yourself on a daily basis, right? So one thing that I talk a lot about in this course and with my clients in general is your self-talk. What kind of daily self-talk do you have? Like, do you constantly say great things to yourself? Are you your own best friend, your own cheerleader? If you are, great, keep on doing it. But most people are not. Most people think about everything that's going wrong. they beat themselves up constantly. They think about all the things that they don't have, right? So that's one thing, if what if anybody, if you take anything away from this interview, like take this thing, like look at your self-talk. Is it mostly positive, or is it mostly negative? And if it's mostly negative, find a way to turn it around, because the way that you talk to yourself, you're telling the world and you're telling other people to treat you like this, and to talk to you like this, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, so put
beautiful.
the bat down, put the imaginary bat down, and be kind and compassionate to yourself. Because if you can't do it with yourself, like how do you expect other people to do it, right?
Sure, sure. Brilliant. Let me ask you a trick question now.
Yeah.
Because this has been what always comes up for me with my healing chats with women.
Yeah.
Where do you put anger in terms of as a resource or a liability in terms of your workshops about self-love and self-worth?
Yeah, of course. I mean, anger is a part of life. I mean, it's you will have moments that you feel angry, and obviously things happen in life. I mean, life is full of twists and turns, and all kinds of stuff happens, that unexpected things, right? But like
Yes.
when something happens, like process it, right? But
Yeah.
don't stay stuck in it, right? And the thing is that these are all moments, right? They're moments that you
Mhm,
process, right? And the thing
mhm,
is that you're the one that decides how long you're going to stay angry, or how
mhm,
long will you stay sad, or how, these are all
mhm,
choices. These are all choices.
mhm,
So it's like, make conscious choices of how you react to the things that happen to you, right?
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Okay.
yeah, of course, anger, you're not going to go through life, you're not going to go through life, like being happy all the time and never feeling anger. I mean, that's not realistic. But the
Sure. No,
thing
I
is, like,
agree.
what do you do most of the time? Like, what do you focus on most of the time? Do you focus on the things that you have, and the things that you're grateful for? Or do you focus on all the things that you don't have, right? Like, it's like, do you create more abundance, or do you create more lack in your life, right? Like, all of this is energetic, right? And all of these things add up.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, what else would you like to talk about? I mean, really, this is fascinating.
Yeah, yeah, there's so much to talk about. One thing that's coming to me now is forgiveness.
Thank
Forgiveness
you.
is so important, right? Because it's like, you need to forgive yourself and everybody else in your life, right? But many times the most difficult person to forgive is yourself, right? For whatever mistakes you think you made in the past, right? So it's like, you need to forgive yourself, and you need to say to yourself, okay, well, I did the best I could at the moment, right? Because hindsight is 2020, right? Hindsight is 2020 always, right?
Sure.
So it's like,
Sure.
you constantly need to be kind and compassionate with yourself. That's so important.
Yes. Beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
Laura, this is great stuff. This is great information. Is spirituality a part of your resources personally and with your
Yes.
teaching? Okay.
Definitely, definitely. Actually, one of the reasons that I became a coach is because coaching combines three things that have always been very important to me. I've always known that I'm here to help people. I'm a big communicator. I love talking. And I speak, five languages. English, Spanish, Finnish, Italian, and French. And I coach in those languages as well. And then
Amazing.
I'm also very spiritual. So coaching
Yeah.
combines these three things really well for me.
Beautiful. So can you, that's incredible. I'm amazed that you can speak five languages, teach in each of those. That's incredible. Can you
Yeah.
say more about how you bring spiritual resources into your teachings?
Yes. So one thing that I do in all my courses, we always have meditations. We always have meditations, and many
Good.
times we focus in the heart. I
Yeah.
do lots of guided meditations around the heart, and I don't
Wonderful.
plan these. I just say whatever comes to me, whatever comes to me in the
Really?
moment.
Well, you're a channel too then. Okay.
I
Yeah.
am.
Fantastic. Okay. Good. I wasn't clear on that until just now. That's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I get
Wonderful.
lots of messages when I'm coaching. I get so many messages, which is really nice. Yeah.
It is. It's beautiful, hon. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let me as we come down the home stretch here, this is really exciting. Is there a moment from your life, Laura, childhood or teenage years or whatever, where you felt like you really, did a 180 or turned around or suddenly arrived or got plugged in your own journey that you might share with us?
Yes, actually, the way that I got introduced to coaching was when I had just arrived in Ireland, right? Like, when I had just arrived in Ireland, I actually did a course in Chrysalis, the old Chrysalis in Wicklow. Yeah,
Okay.
you probably remember it was a beautiful, beautiful place. And I actually did a weekend workshop with two coaches, an Irish coach and a Finnish coach. And that was
Wow.
literally life changing. That was literally life changing. And that's what started my journey into coaching. That's when I decided to become a coach. And as they say, the rest is history, right? So
Brilliant. Brilliant.
15 years
Brilliant.
later,
No, that's fantastic. That's great. I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, well, you're well up the mountain, my friend. You are well on your way, and I'm so happy to know you and count you as one of my friends, and that we've been in touch with each other over the years. But boy, this is your time, honey. You are flying down the road now. It's really exciting. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
for
Thank
you.
you so much, Lou. Yeah, it's been an interesting climb up that mountain, as you know.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Well, all right. Let me ask this: what would your message to men be in your journey at this point? If you want to tell us something that we need to hear.
Yeah, that's a great question. My message to men would be, take down your guard. Like literally, like take down your guard, take down the walls, right? Because so many times men are conditioned, to be, you need to be the strong one, the protector, the masculine man, like take down the walls, like take down your guard. You don't have to be, like on guard all the time, and
Beautiful.
especially with women,
Yeah,
like take down the wall to be able to connect better with women and to understand women, better. Of course, there are differences between women and men. I'm not saying that, yeah, we're all the same and we all think the same. We don't. I mean,
sure.
there's differences. There's differences even, in the brain structures and everything, right? But there's definitely a way to be able to communicate better and to understand each other better. And I think that by both taking the walls down, right, and to be able to speak more clearly and to communicate better with each other and to be honest with each other, because so many times, people pretend to be, people that they're not, right? So it's like, have the courage to be yourself for real. Like, don't put on a show. Don't pretend to be somebody that you're not, because, what's the point of that, right?
Yeah,
Like, be with
yeah.
somebody that you can actually be yourself with, and that you don't have to put on some crazy act, right? And I think that that's one thing that's really important in general, for
Hmm.
people to be comfortable being your genuine self, right? And that
Hmm.
goes back to self-love and the self-acceptance, right? You need
Hmm.
to love and accept yourself for who you truly are, for somebody
Hmm.
else to love and accept the real you, right? So that you don't
Hmm.
have to pretend to be somebody that you're not, and that you don't have to pretend to put on all these masks. And that goes both ways.
Sure. Beautiful. Oh, that's a profound answer to a simple question. I
Yeah,
really
literally, it just came to me.
Well, believe me, you're singing to the choir, as I like to say. That's
Yeah.
that would really hit home. Let me ask you this then. What would what would women like men to do aside from that? What else are women asking for men to be able to give them or provide to them to have better relationships relationships between men and women, do you think?
I think one thing that women really would like is for men to listen to them and to take them more seriously, right? Like in the sense that there's more to women than just, what they look like and what they can, like, do for a man, right? Like there's a lot more. And I think we should all, strive to have more deep and meaningful relationships, because it's really easy to have superficial relationships, right? It's really easy to have superficial relationships and pretend to be somebody that you're not, right? It's a whole different level when you know somebody on a really deep, like, soul level, and a really deep spiritual level. Then it's a whole different ball game, right? And that can be very scary. That can be very scary to people, to both men and women, and especially for men, right? So again, like, one message that keeps on coming to me is, take down the walls, like take down the guard, right? Because it's like we should be, we're in this together. We should be, like a team together. We're not here against each other and fighting against each other, and to see, who's better than the other one. Is it men? Is it women? Is it the Me Too movement? Is it the men being alone movement? Or, there's all these crazy movements, right? And at the end of the day, we know that the consciousness of the new earth, right? If you want to call it the new earth, and the shift of
Yeah.
consciousness of humanity is about unity, right? We need to strive for unity and stop all division in all ways. And that also includes relationships.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, all right. I mean, you really have me, my friend. Let's talk about creating and sustaining intimacy
Yes.
in relationship. What would you like to say about that? I mean, you're doing great.
Yeah. Well, again, it comes down to the communication again, right? And it's there's so much fear, right? There's so it's like the opposite of fear is love, right? Love and
Right.
fear. We constantly have to choose between love and fear in all situations, and especially in relationships, right? And of
Right.
course, when you're in a relationship with somebody and when you open yourself up, I mean, you're vulnerable, right? And of course, when you open yourself up like that and when you become vulnerable, obviously there's the chance of that you can get hurt, right? But
Sure.
it's like, don't think about that. Just, have the courage, have the courage to open yourself up, like, to that level, because of course you learn so much about yourself and about relationships in general when you're able to do that, right? But the
Mhm.
communication is so important, and not to come from a place of fear, come from a place of love,
Mhm.
right? Come from a place
Yeah.
of love. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Do you see couples? Do you see conscious couples coming? Do you see conscious couples in your life? Do you see them coming to
Yes.
your workshop? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I love it. Like when I see, when I see a conscious couple working together, especially, in the personal development world, in the spiritual world, like I think that's so amazing. A conscious couple working together and, like, elevating everybody around them. I mean, that's just like, wow. Like, that's just like a dream
Yeah.
come true for me, and
I agree.
I have many friends. I have many friends like that. I know lots of couples like that. And I think that those kinds of couples are increasing more and more in the world now, because
Mhm.
as the consciousness of humanity rises,
Mhm.
these kinds of couples, come together, like these kinds of souls, come together, because it's like
Mhm.
they have a bigger purpose, a bigger calling together.
Mhm. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Well, that's very hopeful and encouraging, I have to say. Um,
Yeah.
as you and I have said, I mean, I've been single for years at this point, and I think you might be single at the moment as well. I don't know, but it's. I mean, and I've been studying this material and doing these workshops, giving and receiving, for a while as well, and it's the what can I say? The winds of change are blowing, at
Yes.
full gale force in the world right now and in our lives. So,
Yes.
again, you mentioned unity, and I just really value yourself and other conscious teachers. Every one of us who felt like we have a destiny. No matter how clear or foggy our sense of how to fulfill it might have been or might be.
Yes.
We all tend to recognize each other, like we're doing this thing, and we're
Yes.
here to help each other. And it's just a pleasure to get to know you a bit more and learn about your work today. So thank you so much. It's a joy. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, we're all warriors of light, right?
Yes.
Warriors of light in the trenches, right? Of the shift of consciousness of humanity right now.
Yes. Well, I wrote a song called Warrior of Love. I thought you were going to refer to that. So I'll have to send that to you since you're
definitely.
Yeah, it was my last video. A friend and I did it a few months ago. We are that. We're warriors of love and light, Laura. There's no doubt about it. And it's a pleasure to be on the team here with you. So give us your books and your workshop one more time, and then we'll let people find you and dive in from there. How's that sound?
Thank you so much. Yeah, so my first book, so Quiet and Badass, is available on Amazon. They're all available on Amazon. So Quiet and Badass: Visionary Women Embracing Their Uniqueness to Create Epic Impact. That's book number 1. Bestseller number 1. And then the second book, which just launched on the 25th of January, that's Burn: Brave and Inspiring Stories from Women who have overcome their fears to speak their truth and share their wisdom. And that's available on Amazon too. And the paperback copy is coming out soon, and the audiobook is coming out as well. So that's very exciting. Wonderful. Yeah.
Are you narrating that yourself, or somebody else do that?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
We all get to narrate our own chapters, because these stories are so personal that the publisher, the publisher felt that we should record it in our own voice, which is really exciting. It's going to be my first audiobook, so that's going to be
yeah. Boy, I'd like to see a film of that, or a show of that.
Definitely. I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. The movies are coming. The movies are coming.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my Breakthrough to Love course, it's going to start on the 26th of February. Okay. So right before the leap day. This is a leap year.
Okay.
Right before leap day.
Yes. Great. Great. And wonderful. All right, Laura. Well, thank you, hon, so much. It's a pleasure to share all your joy and wisdom with everyone, and to get to hang out with you and get to know you a bit better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And people can find me on my website and my email, lauracoaching@gmail.com. So thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. We'll put all those links on my page, and I'll send you the video here so you can share it as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lou. This was great.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure. Peace. All right. Bye for now.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, Carolyn.